Hey everyone, how y'all doing out there? Today I want to talk to you about the 3 free tools I use online to help me find and plan my nighttime photography trips. Those 3 free tools is Google Maps, Stellarium, and a light pollution map. All these are available for free online, and I use all 3 in conjunction with each other to help plan out my trip. Okay, getting right into it. The first thing you want to look up is Stellarium. Okay, when you first open up Stellarium, you'll have an image that somewhat looks like this. First thing you can do is set your location. I'm out here in Odessa, Texas, and we can drag it out to wherever you like in the country. Okay, now the thing about this little map, to drag the dot, you got to be in the window to move it. You can't go out past and have it scroll. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So pick a dark sky spot like I know down here in like around Fort Davis. This is the Fort Davis Loop, we call it. It's pretty dark out here. Once you have a spot picked, it'll orientate the map to this spot. So whatever you see from this location geographically, it'll show you the night sky accordingly. Okay, so once you have that done, the next thing in Stellarium is the time and date section. Now you can set this to go anywhere you want, in the past or the future. The thing happening right now in the night sky is we've got Jupiter and Saturn coming really close. This hasn't happened in 800 years. I think they're calling it the Christmas star. I think it'll be closest on December 22nd. So let's move ahead to December 22nd. So the first thing we want to do is find Jupiter. Now looking down, it's already set on the horizon tonight while I'm filming this. But let's advance our clock a little bit. So we're December 22nd. We move up to the 22nd. We want to roll back the hours a little bit. So we can see from about 6 to 7 o'clock, we have a very narrow window to get this thing captured on the horizon before it sets. Now you can see these are extremely close. If just to reset tonight and go back an hour or so you can see this thing in the sky, I took this picture. Oop, wrong way. See, I took this picture right here tonight, and this is like basically a full frame image right here at 400 millimeters. So you can see it's going to be they're going to be really close. So if you can get closer than 400 millimeters on a camera, you're going to be able to get a pretty cool image of this, especially if you can stack. But that's the nice thing about Stellarium, is it lets you kind of plan things out. So we have a location set, we have our time and date. The next thing you can do with it also, right up here it says FOV 60.6. The FOV stands for field of view. Every lens has a field of view rating. If you don't know what that is, go to somewhere like, I use B&H Photo. I'll just type in, I use my 24mm GM for my night photography. So if you click on the lens and go down to specs, okay, little icon here, it'll say angle of view. Now the angle of view is your field of view, basically, of what this thing's going to see. And we're at 84 degrees. If we go back into Stellarium, you can see we're at a 60.6. Now, if you're on a PC, you just use your mouse wheel to roll back to about 84 degrees. So we have 81 to 89. This will give you an idea of a representation of how much sky that lens is going to see in that time frame right there. So you can see we've got quite a bit of sky that we can see in that view. So that's Stellarium. The next free tool I use is going to be this light pollution map. It opens up over Europe. The dark areas are anything in this dark gray. This is ocean, really dark. And the brightest of bright areas is these white spots. Us mere mortals and amateur photographers and astronomers, we use a scale called the Bortle Scale. The Bortle Scale was made by John E. Bortle in 1991. What it does is it classifies a dark region of sky to a bright region of sky in 9 levels. Bortle Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 is like best for Milky Way photography. And then, of course, you get into Bortle 9, which is like city center bright lights. And that's what these little white pockets are. So let's go over here to the U.S. And you can see the U.S. has a little bit of a trend that everything on the eastern half is pretty lit up, and the western half is pretty dark. Down here in Texas, in the southern part, I've got this big dark area in Mexico and Texas that I like to travel into to get photography at night. This is all because this is all Class 1 dark skies. So you can see when you click somewhere, it shows you the class. But anyways, that's how I kind of plan out. So I'll find somewhere dark first, usually. Like, okay, I want to go out here. Say, let's go back to Fort Davis here. You can see Fort Davis is a Class 2 or Class 3. It's Class 2 is the little darker purple areas. Let's see what this light blue is, if it's a class 3 in the lighter blue. And then the green and the yellow, we get into class 4s. I think yellow's class 4. Yeah, yellow's class 4 right here. So on this loop, you can't really see the roads too well in this particular map, but they're there. And you can see that you can drive up and around. This is this loop road right here. This is a little spot I've gone here before. Actually, it's right here at this mountain range, and I captured this image from about right here. Looking at these mountains, I captured this image with my 24mm, and that was a really nice dark spot, even though it's called a class 2. But if you look right, just right over here on this little hill, it's class 1. Class 1, class 2 really isn't definable that I could see out experiencing it. But they say class 1, class 2, and class 3, you can see the Milky Way. You can see it sort of in class 4, but it's a little bit, you get it muddied out, a little loss of detail in class 4 if you can capture it. Once you have a kind of a spot picked out here, I'll open up Google Maps. Okay, so we've got Google Maps open now. And we're going to go down to that area out of Fort Davis. So if we scroll in here and we move into satellite view, you'll be able to see the highway here. And we scroll in and you can get all the way down on the highway in street view. Now the red arrow here points north, this one points south. To see the Milky Way, you want to face south. So we're going to look south. Now this spot I enjoyed because we had these nice little rock formations coming up out of the ground. This little mountain range here really made a really nice foreground element in my image that I took. Before you even step foot on location, you can explore this area and see what it looks like. You can just, move down the road. What this will let you do is look for like pullouts, look for dirt roads you can travel down. You can explore down the dirt road without traveling down the dirt road to see if there's a better spot or if it goes into private property, anything like that. It's a tool to be used like that, and that's how I use it to find locations without having to go out there and scout. Now, ultimately, the best thing to do is go out there during daylight hours and find these spots. But if you have to travel to a dark spot from where you live, sometimes it's going to be dark by the time you get there. At least this gives you an idea of where to go start at. So those are the 3 free tools I use every time I want to plan a photo trip, and especially if it's at night. Forgot anything, or if you have any other questions about what I've got here, just hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.